My name is Stefan. I'm an IT engineer working in Antarctica. These are my experiences. Hello, a bit of a different one this time. I wanted to show you a day in the life of an IT engineer at Rothera. So this video is a bit longer than usual, but I hope you enjoy it. It's currently around 6:30 a.m. Just got up. I'm gonna go to the gym for a run. Haven't been sleeping well this last few days. So I'm quite tired when I get up. Normally I'm all right in the morning, but today I'm knackered. But I'm going to give it my best shot. Go for a run, probably not a hard one, and then head off to work. So let's get changed out of these Xbox pajamas and get going. On the way to the gym, still pitch black outside. You can see out there. Probably be no one in there at this time in the morning. We'll see. Here's the gym. It's quite a nice gym, better than the old one, which is just very bad. The old one had really low ceilings, so it's about as tall as like my hand up there. You can see it in the mirror. So you used to bash the ceiling all the time if you did a chin up or anything like that, or lifted a bar vertically. But yeah, here we go. That's the new gym. Much more space. The changing rooms are through there. I'll show you that quickly. So these will be our showers when they're finished. Not ready yet, obviously. This is a sauna, which isn't ready yet. That'll be cool when it's running. We have got one outside. It's in a shipping container at the moment. So you have to kind of walk in the snow to get there. Some toilets, changing rooms, and lockers. Yeah, that's about it then. So time for a run. So welcome to the new IT office in the new building. We've moved in about 2 weeks ago. I haven't fully moved in myself. I've still got some monitors to bring over and some other stuff, but most of the stuff is in here. For some reason, we've got 3 whiteboards. So we've got this one here, which is already damaged. You've got the arrows showing the damage here. It's brand new, but already been dropped, I think. And then we've got another whiteboard here, and then a third one here. So I'm not sure of why we need 3 whiteboards. I guess there are 3 desks, although there's usually only one person. But anyway, that's what it is. Some other things I brought across were these maps. So these are the ones that were in the old office. Some of them I have to throw away because they were, well, basically ruined. This one is slightly torn because it was behind the pipe and I had to pull it off. So I'm going to try and find the same version of this and print it out again. We've got a plotter set up now, so we can do that. This is just one that is this region, but in German for some reason, but it looks cool, I think, so I brought it across. What else have we got in here? We've got cupboards, new cupboards, and in here we have IT tools. We've actually found loads more IT tools. So we've got a cupboard full of tools, which we didn't before. We had to look in different places, but this is very useful. And then a glass window. Unfortunately, that means people can see in. Not a big fan of that as an IT person. I wish we could have one of those clickers when you push it and it just makes the window opaque, but yeah, unfortunately not. Maybe blinds, I don't know. It's meant to be more presentable and not presentable, approachable. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get to love it. So what I'm going to do now, we've got this cool window. We've got whiteboards, but I decided to write on the window anyway. I'm going to write down 3 IP addresses. one of them is going to be incorrect, and you can tell me which one. So the first one, 10.1.0.1, 10.1.100.1, and the last one, 10.1.300.1. So one of these is incorrect. Daisy, which one do you think it is?
I think it's the bottom one.
So this one, 10.1.300.1. Why?
300 is outside of the scope, so above 256.
Yeah, so that's right. 300 is outside of the allowable IP addresses. This is the 256 numbers this can be, 0 to 255, and this is above 255. So any of these numbers, the highest they can be is 255. It makes absolutely no sense if you're not into IT, but since this is my job, I am interested in this, and if you're in IT, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no number can be above 255, powers of 2, that's why if you really want the explanation, but I'm not going to get into more details. So yeah, that is correct. This is the wrong IP address. Okay, so yeah, that was the IP office. I'm going to get back to see what other tickets I have. And we've got, I think, one access point to put up, wireless access point. So I'm going to do that later on today, but I'll see if I've got any other tickets before I do that. Okay, I found another ticket, and it was to add printers. So we've got some new printers that have been put in since this is a new building. Not everyone has had these printers mapped because they haven't been set up on the server yet properly, so to get pushed out automatically. So this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna add it manually. Eventually I won't need to do this when it's been set up correctly, but someone in Cambridge has to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have permission to make those changes. So let's go and do it. It's gonna be the estates team. Printer's close to them, it's in their room, so we can test it after we've done it. Okay, so that was fairly easy to do. Printer's been added. Had to add it on 2 PCs in the end. I think that's all the PCs there need to be added. Maybe there's one more, but the person wasn't here, so I couldn't do it, and the computer was locked. So back to the office. See what else we've got to do. Field guides is going to come up at some point. I've got to test their shared folder access, but they're currently not in the office, so I can't do that. And let's head back to the office. I'm going to head over to the field guides office now to try and finish their setup. Hopefully there's someone in. Otherwise, we'll take a look around. So this is the field guides office. And as you can probably guess, there's no one in here, I think. Nope, no one's jumped out, and I don't think they like working in the dark. Better switch the lights on. Here we are in the field guide office, and you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 desks, 5 spaces for computers, but they've only got 1, 2, 3 computers. The reason being, in the old office, they didn't have space for 5 people. I'm going to ask them if they want to put in more PCs, since there are 5 field guides, so it makes sense, and they can each have their own dedicated PC. It makes it a bit easier for them, but they're not here. When they come back, I'll ask. Let's look around. Let's see what we've got. Here we've got a field guide cupboard. Some interesting things in it. We've got CO2 monitors here. These ones need to be recalibrated or failed. It needs to be returned back to the UK. We've got this interesting section here with tea and coffee. And one of my favorite sections with all their paraphernalia, all their memorabilia, I should say. You've got some classic things like the clock here, some signs about snowmobile, I think. Yeah. Goggles from probably the 60s. Handmade plane that someone's made. Some classic ice axes. And this is like a blowtorch, a very old school one. And loads of books, mostly about field work, outdoor craft, adventuring, things like that. And a classic sewing machine. Ooh, this is nice. I don't know if it actually works or not. See what we've got over here. Here we've got something interesting. We've got the old Rothera hooks for harnesses when Rothera used to have dogs. So we've got different dog team names. The Huns, I guess the European tribes, Huns, Picts, Admiral. I don't think Admirals is a European tribe, but that was another dog team. This is, I guess, for the puppies, and a spare holder for spare leads. So yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, unfortunately for me, the Rothera no longer has dogs. Nowhere in the Antarctic continent has animals. You're not allowed to bring them in anymore since the mid-90s, which is a shame. But yeah, that's what this was used for when we used to have dogs. Oh, and here we can see a map of the travel area. So you've got the local travel area and techno travel area. So let's explain this a bit more. So we're down here. We're there, that's the station. And this long black thing here is the runway. This is the ramp that we can ski up and down. And then you would follow the ridge line here and carry on going round, follow the contour, I should say, not the ridge line. You'll get up to this local travel area. And you could ski around here. And these kind of black dots are flags that you'd have to stay within. But unfortunately, all of this is closed. The only bit that is open is this little green ramp here. That's it. Reason being, if you go along here, which is between the flags where you'd walk, there are crevasses and you can't go without a field guide and being roped in. So you can't get to this area, which doesn't really have any crevasses. It's on a plateau, but you can't get there. And that black dot is the caboose. It's probably moved a bit since this map was made, but it's roughly in that spot. So you could go up and stay in the caboose overnight or on a weekend, but yeah, you can't do that. So all of that is closed. So you're basically stuck in this small area around here, which isn't great for recreation. I mean, you can go walking around a bit off the map up here, but it's not as it used to be, which is a real shame. But it is what it is, I guess. That's how much it changed. I never knew the large area, but if someone has come down in previous years, they certainly would have noticed the difference. Out here, they've got a good view normally of the sun rising, but it's pitch black. It's in the middle of winter, so the sun rises today at 1:03 p.m., so 13:03. It will get lighter before that as the sun begins to rise, but yeah, at the moment, it's the time now. It's nearly 11 o'clock. And in the morning, 11 a.m., and it's still pitch black. And what else have they got? Some danger of death, a call sign here. And here we've got a panorama with distances to various points and heights as well, heights of various mountains. So that's Jenny there, height 1,900 feet, feet, and distance 22 kilometers. I'll just show you all of that. It's quite cool. Now, the reason that this is here is for twofold. One, it's for just interest. So you look out the window and you wonder, I wonder what that is. You can look in a panorama and it will tell you. And also to know the heights of things. So how tall is this mountain? So just pure interest. The second thing is for weather observations. So when you do weather observations, you have to, one of the things you have to give is the furthest distance you can see. So that has that on there. If you can see a particular mountain and no further because of haze or something, you know that is 60 kilometers away. And then also in weather, you have to do cloud heights. So if there's a cloud and it's touching like the top of the mountain, you can say, that mountain is 1,000 meters tall, therefore the cloud base is at 1,000 meters. So it makes it easier to make observations like that. Let's carry on around the room. Here we have some classic shoes, I guess, some old school crampons, ice axes, and yes, this was the Rothera St. Patrick's Day parade. This was meant to be a prize for the best. It just says parade trophy. I'm not sure, but from what I remember, it's meant to be the best float. It's quite well made. I think they've left space down here for future additions to it. I don't think the field guides won though, so it's a bit strange that that's there. I've turned off the lights again in the field guides office because I wanted to show you something. This is the view out of the field guides window. They face the sunrise here. The sun still hasn't risen. You can just see it's getting a bit lighter there behind those mountains. So the sun is beginning to rise higher and higher. It hasn't come across up above the horizon yet. You're not going to be able to see the sun through this window because the mountains will block it. So the sun is still going above the horizon at this point of the year, but you're not actually going to see it. You just see kind of the light in the sky. It looks really beautiful. In summer, though, they probably will need blinds because you're going to get direct sunshine shining in your eyes while you're trying to work on a computer. So we've got just under an hour's worth of actual time the sun is above the horizon. So short days here, short days. I've never been somewhere where 11:15 a.m. it was this dark. This was the last thing I wanted to show you in the office. Let's head back to mine. Every day I'll get emailed a newsletter. This has the latest world news, sports result, and the most popular thing, a crossword puzzle. It's my job to make copies of this to people. So from my office, I sent the newsletter to print in the dining hall and then headed out to collect it. Now this door to the Discovery is pretty tough to move. It's pretty heavy. You can see how thick it is. It's there to keep out the cold. I think it was originally meant to be actuated in some way, either hydraulically or electrically, but that was never done. So you have to drag it open or push it open, depending which way you're going. But anyway, so I'm off to New Bransfield House to get the newsletters I sent to be printed. Sometimes I print it in my office and carry them across, but today I sent it directly to the printer there. I will pick it up there, staple them together and hand it in. Usually I'd have to print out something like 10 or maybe even 12 newsletters during the summer. But because it's winter and dining room about half the size it was, 6 will do. That's plenty for everyone. And to be honest, most people, they'll be happy with the crossword page at the end because the news you can get on your phone, obviously. There's less of a need for it, but it's kind of a tradition, I suppose, when we had slow internet and you couldn't get the news and that was the only way you could see it. Well, I'm here at New Bransfield House. Let's go into the boot room. Okay, I'm gonna get changed and get those newsletters. All of what I'm showing you, by the way, you can see on the BAS, the British Antarctic Survey website. You can do a virtual tour of this building and see all the same things I'm seeing. I don't know if they're going to toilets or not, or the cleaning cupboard, but most of the public area anyway. So I'm just going to go up to the computer room now and get those newsletters. It's quite dark in here because there's nobody up there, so the lights go off automatically. Save power, and here we are in the computer room. So I'm just gonna hopefully grab the newsletters, which should be, yes, there they are, come out in the printer. So now I've just got to staple them together with this bad boy staple here. So I'm just going to do that and then hand them out downstairs. So I've got these printed. It's time to go and put them out downstairs. So let's head back down. Here we've got the dining room. It's been rearranged since yesterday. The table's in a kind of horseshoe shape. It seems to change every day. I don't know what this central table is for. Maybe there's some special occasion I'm not aware of. But here we go. So 6, so I assume 1 for each table maybe, or 1 for each second table. So I looked on the board that we have notices on and I can't see anything regarding special table. Maybe there's, oh, actually I've seen something. There you go, table of dreams, don't be shy. So I assume some kind of speed dating or dating thing. I guess it was a joke, I guess, someone set up. It'd be interesting to see if anyone sits here at any point during lunch or dinner. I'm gonna quickly have something to eat, some bread with butter and a coffee. So not much. We've actually got fresh fruit, you can see behind me. Got apples, pears, bananas. This is rare, but we just had a ship in 2 weeks ago. 1 week ago. So that's why we've got fresh fruit. It's the last load of fresh vegetables and fruit until probably October when the first planes start coming in. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get plenty of it. Gotta say, this bread is freshly made and it's really good. It's sourdough, brown sourdough. If you don't show up that clean on camera, but it's really good. I love having fresh bread every day. That's one of the perks of being here. With the newsletter done, I'm going to head back and see what other tickets I have to do for the day. I don't think there's many today. I know there's one with permissions. I've had to get some permissions changed to give access to a shared folder, and now they should have it. So basically all trying to access one shared folder with one account, and it was causing a bit of chaos. So now they should be able to log in as themselves, and after that get access to the shared folder. We'll see if that's worked out. I later confirmed it had worked. I headed back to the office to get some equipment and Daisy's help for my next ticket. I'm here with Daisy, who is the summer IT engineer. So although we're in winter, so it's a bit of a misnomer, she's been here. How long have you been here?
4 months now.
4 months now. She's leaving next week because we have, normally there's only one IT engineer, which would be like my role that stays the summer and winter, but because we have the Discovery building, we had to wait for we had to have extra help. What we're going to be doing now is putting this Wi-Fi access point inside one of the buildings that doesn't have Wi-Fi. It used to get Wi-Fi from another building across the road, but in fact I can show you. So here we've got the two buildings. So the one there is where we're putting in Wi-Fi, and it used to get Wi-Fi from here, but that's been removed. So there's no Wi-Fi that side, and it's used as a workshop by the construction group in summer. Now today I'm wearing a slightly different hat. There is a reason for this, which Daisy's going to find out. So we're going to have to put this Wi-Fi access point in here and find a space. The issue is there's no switch in here. There's no connection where you can just plug in your access point. The actual wires run from this building across the road behind me. So we're then going to have to find exactly where they plug in there. So we're going to have to actually plug it in, see what light comes on, and then see if this is actually working. Right, let's go in. So here we have what's called the BAM workshop. It's really dark. The good news is, if I turn this on, there are lights. Daisy, you want to turn it on? And that's the bad news, they don't work. Power has been cut, hence the light. See, big brains, big brains. Right, so the other thing we have to do is run a bit of a gauntlet. So we've got loads of vehicles parked here. Can't really see over summer. So I did plan this route out. We're gonna go this way. Let me turn on more lights. Oh, not available, right, this way. We have to go around here. This isn't very good. And now here, we have to duck underneath this beam and class the the track up, go around this excavator, and finally the office is here. Quite a gauntlet we have to run. And now we're going to have to look for the wires to try and install this thing. There's a few wires. There's one here that I scoped out yesterday. It's red. I don't know if this is useful or not. There's another one down here that seems to be connected to something. And there was one other one that I found just hanging here, but it seemed to, here it is. It seems to not be connected. We're gonna have to test and see if they work. So we found the cable that we're gonna try, and Daisy's just plugging it in. Let's see if the light comes on. Mm-hmm. Nope. So this isn't sending power. Oh, yeah, yes, it is. Hey. It's coming on. We've got to then see if this will connect. We've got to check the settings of that switch. The problem is knowing which port. So we don't have a laptop. We can do it the old-fashioned way, which is, oh, hold on. The lights, it's going blue, or will it go green again?
Blue flashing, then green and red flashing.
Then solid green, blue if it works.
And then solid blue if it works.
Problem is, if the port on the switch is set to static, then it won't work, which I think that switch might be.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to look which port it's actually plugged into. Okay, just quickly wanted to mention about switches. You've heard me say this a few times in this video, but what is a switch in IT world? This is a switch, and on the front there are ports, and you plug in your Ethernet cable into these ports, like that. What me and Daisy are trying to figure out is the other end of the cable, which port it plugs into. And then when you found that out, we can log into the switch and figure out the settings of this port. So that's what a switch is, and that's what we're currently trying to do. Okay, back to the video. So this cable has 2 pieces of red tape. Do you think it's done by tape count?
I don't know, it seems like it. Is it plugged in at the moment?
Yes, it is. It's gone solid green, so it may work. I'm going to try and connect with my phone and see if it goes blue. Give me a sec. Well, that was easier than I thought. It's connected, so I'm going to let Daisy know. Daisy, Stefan.
Stefan, Daisy?
Yeah, it's working. It's connected. Yeah, I guess we don't have to do anything. I'm going to put it up in the corner and see if I can get permission to drill from someone later on.
Okay, cool. I'll see you back at the office.
See ya. Right, now I'm going to have to climb up and try and put it somewhere up there temporarily. Maybe on a Russell Hobbs kettle. No one's using this place because there's no heat and power, as you can tell. So it might be okay to leave it there temporarily. And then I'm going to go next door and see if we can get Wi-Fi in there, because that building was lacking Wi-Fi and they were asking for it earlier on this season. So let's do that. This is the span. This is the building next door to where I just was. So I'm going to check if Wi-Fi works in here. This is where we have our waste management. So let me show you inside. I just came through that door there. This building is pretty much a metal box. And we have our waste stored here, separated and stored, ready to be shipped back to the UK. Let's just show you around. What do we have in here? Well, we've got a card and can crusher. So you put card in there and then you would, well, crush it to flatten it down so it can be baled. Same with plastic on this side. Cans, again here, you can go and crush them down. And here are the crushed cans. What else have we got? We've got loads of different waste streams. Textiles there. Are there any? Yeah, some. Paper, rope. This is old rope from straps and field equipment. So ropes that aren't worth using anymore. They're expired. They've been broken, etc. for climbing and being roped together when you walk. Polystyrene, foam, oily plastic. Hard plastic, which has been cleaned out, landfill, printer cartridges, loads of printer cartridges in here, wires for waste. That will be, I guess, reclaimed for copper at some point. What is this? Various, I'm not sure, they're small adapters and things like that, it looks like. Some old speakers. Here we've got some skidoos, quite funny there. Someone's sitting on it. So this building was originally built to house vehicles, but it has been repurposed for waste management until there's a permanent waste management building, which is some of it's going to be in the new Discovery building. And I think there's a plan looking forward a long way to have either another place to store vehicles or another waste management facility, rather than kind of mix them. So vehicles are stored outside or in a hangar now. These are drums that are going to be shipped back with various types of waste in them. Small working area for when someone's in here. We've got waste sawdust even, ready to go back. So everything gets put into a barrel and gets shipped back when the boat comes. And then finally in this corner, we've got some batteries. So you can separate out your batteries when they've stopped working. Aerosols. Oh, I didn't know they had an aerosols bit here. Need to bring some aerosols that I have here. And that's it. So yeah, that's the waste management facility. People do work in here. There's one person at the moment, but in summer there's I think up to 5. So let's check out the Wi-Fi. Their desk would be here when they're in here. Let's see if they have Wi-Fi in this area. Unfortunately, no, they don't get Wi-Fi. I think the combination of 2 metal buildings, last one was metal, this is metal, and the fact that the access point isn't pointing directly towards this building because the other building needs to be covered means they don't have Wi-Fi in here still, unfortunately. The other option would be to put a Wi-Fi point in here, but there's no cable. There's no cable run from anywhere into here, so that would have to be run and have to be agreed, and that's realistically not going to happen anytime soon. I don't think it's going to be done, unfortunately. It's a shame because it's something that's always been asked for several years, apparently, from what I've heard from my predecessor and other people. But it looks like it won't happen. However, next door now does have Wi-Fi, and they've been asking for that for a long time. So I'll take that as a win. Anyway, back to the office. It's 12 o'clock. I'm heading over to the dining hall in New Bransfield House, NBH as it's known here, for lunch, see what they've got. It's much brighter now, as you can see. The sun has, well, it hasn't technically risen, that's in an hour, but it's high enough that the sky is pretty bright. It looks like daylight on the camera, but it's not actually daylight. It's like a muted color with the naked eye. That's how it looks anyway. And let's see what is for lunch. Hopefully it's something good. Although it's very nice food, I've decided actually I'm going to head to the gym instead. And the reason is I want to finish work and then just be able to relax. So off to the gym for some core work actually today, strengthening my core. It's now the afternoon and we've been asked to move the Last of Us stuff out of our old office. This is because they want to turn the power off to that building. However, Daisy has pointed out that there are still some things there that need to have power and need to stay connected, not our stuff, but from other departments. And those departments are waiting for clearance to get their stuff out. We are going to remove as much IT equipment as we can by Friday. It's currently Wednesday, and we're going to clear our office completely today. But I think we're not going to get an answer from the other departments about whether we can basically unplug them from the network. They're not going to be pleased if we just did that. The people are asking us to move everything out. I think they believe everyone's ready to move, but the reality is, even though everyone's out, there's still a lot of stuff there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens by Friday. But in the meantime, I've got this box and I'm going to use this to pack our stuff. What we're going to do is me and Daisy are going to unplug as many cables out of the switches as we can, remove any equipment, including some switches that aren't being used anymore, and take it down to the bare minimum without cutting off people's access to their stuff there. Let's see how that goes. Come along with me. Here I'm at the front door, and here the sign's gone. I didn't notice that until today. That's quite recent. It used to be the sign that said Rothera Research Station or something like that, but that's gone. And the one on the door, which was the Antarctic symbol, it was quite faded, so to be honest, it could do with a new one. And here we are in our old office. Quite empty now. Gonna move these books and things like that, this folder, some other trinkets and clothes, but apart from that, I'm gonna grab these two monitors and move them across. So let's pack these up first. Here are some other things I found. Windows 98 starts here apparently according to this. I wonder if this will be useful. You know, never know, might come back into fashion. I'm going to keep this for historical purposes, and the other stuff I want to get is this stuff up there. So it's old-fashioned film and the cameras and that sign. Right, so the box is packed, ready to move. I'm gonna bring the box over and then I'll come back, see what Daisy's up to in this building and give her a hand. Back in the old server room, just wanted to point this out. This is our super duper high-tech air conditioning system. It leads all the way down into a hole in the floor, which just allows cold air from outside to come in and drop down. It was put in by the previous IT engineer because this room kept overheating, and it actually worked. It's one of the few places, in fact the only place I've ever seen low temperature alert. So before I came here I could see the monitoring system from Cambridge and it actually said low temperature alert. It's the first time I've ever seen that in a server room. Seen plenty of high temperatures, but low temperatures never. So clearly this worked. So Daisy, as you're hanging down this high-tech air system, what do you think of it? Right, does that answer the question? Yeah, right, okay.
There's a hole in the floor.
Look, it's high-tech, high-tech.
But it does its job.
Yeah, it did, and
Steve,
no longer needed, but it did its job. So rip hose, yeah, rip hose.
6 DLF, this one and these ones are
Right.
2 are for Sarah.
So we've got to find out if those can be removed. I think we're good then. I'm going to go to Giants with this APC and see if it can actually fit. I've lugged this UPS over to another building. The reason I wanted to do that is to put it in this cupboard. This thing there is a UPS and I want to replace it with the one on the bench. First of all, what is a UPS? Well, it's an uninterruptible power supply. Basically, it's a giant battery. So if there's a power cut or a power spike, anything plugged into these sockets will continue to get power. How long for? Well, that depends on how much power the devices are drawing. Unfortunately, as you may be able to see, this is not deep enough, not even close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the network card out of the back. So this thing where you can plug in your network cable and you can reuse that in another model. For example, the model right here doesn't have a network card. If you have a network card, you can control things remotely. You can you can monitor the UPS remotely. You can turn it on and off, see if there's a problem remotely, and even set alarms. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to lug that UPS back down to my office, then take the card out, and then put the rest into a box to be sent back to Cambridge. Daisy has removed most of the cables from those switches. I'm going to go to the IT office and check our switch. We've got a switch in there, see what the deal is with that. Unplug any cables that aren't in use, aren't flashing. And tomorrow, hopefully, we can unplug the rest and turn this whole building off. So let's back into the IT office. Not many cables here. I think everything is unplugged that can be unplugged. This goes to Fuchs. This is a wireless access point. This one goes downstairs where we just were. And this one goes to the other building, which is still in use. OBH air unit. I'm not quite sure which one this is. It seems to have 3 things. Phone booth, BTH1, OBH air, BTH3. I'm going to go and look and see if there is a port where I think there should be. Okay, after some stunning detective work, I have found out where that port led to. It leads to this room. You've got BTH3, which is what was written on there, and it goes to a phone. There is obviously no need for it in this room, since there is nothing in here. It used to be the craft room, I think, yeah. But yeah, there's nothing now. So that phone's coming with me and we'll get rid of one more port. So you can see now that this port has gone off. That was our phone, so that is now unplugged. And that's pretty much it. We're good to go. And tomorrow we can, or Friday, we can hopefully remove all of this equipment as it's all end of life and it's be shipped back to the UK. It's 5:05 and there was an announcement that we are done with the move for today. It's time for me to head home. Right, it's dinner time. Third hat change of the day. It's a bit colder now, it's night, so I'm gonna wear this hat to dinner. Hopefully it's something good. you enjoyed that. That was a typical day in the life of an IT engineer. The moving stuff, not so much. We don't do the moving that much, but the rest of it, yeah, it's pretty standard. I'm just come from the bar, poured myself a Coke. I'm just going to chill with some friends and then go to bed. It's about 7 o'clock now, so I've got a good few hours, and then back to work tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can find a polar bear on the way back to the bar. Maybe I'll be lucky. Bye.